So welcome everyone. Today we'll be solving a problem on square pyramid related to slant edges. So you know how does a square pyramid look like? It has a bottom square surface which is bounded by four triangular surface. It will be having one common point where all the triangular surface join, which is called as our apex. Right? So it will be having the center O and O1. And four sides, what we name it as A, B, C and D. So this is about how one square pyramid looks like. So now coming to the problem, it is a problem on slant edge. Why? It is told a square pyramid of side 35 mm. So the square pyramid of side 35 mm and axis height of 60 mm. So this is the vertical axis. From the top to the bottom, the vertical axis is of around 60 mm. Is resting on HP on one of its slant edge. So these are nothing but our slant edges. So these are the base edges or the smaller edges. So all these longer edges, so these are called slant edges because these edges are inclined from the corner of the base to our apex. So it is told that it is resting on one of the slant edge. Any one of the slant edge will be resting on our HP. If that has to be the case, how will be the initial position of the square pyramid? You cannot keep the square pyramid such that it is resting on one of its edge. If you keep resting on one of its edge, the projection in the front view will not provide you anything related to the slant edges because we will be projecting the vertical base edge to our VP. We need the slant edge. So in order to get the slant edge, only the option is you have to keep the initial position of the square pyramid in such a way that you will get the projection of the slant edges. For that, always we have to keep one of the corner towards your right. So the other corner comes towards our left. Then we have to take the projections of the top view as well as the front view. So whenever it is a problem on slant edge, we will keep initial position of the square pyramid such a way that it is resting on one of its corners so that we can project the projection of the slant edge to the vertical plane, and then we can shift the front view slant edge towards HP. Okay, so for that reason you will keep the initial position of the square pyramid resting on one of its corner. So after this you will view from the top. So when you view from the top, all the four corners will be visible. The apex O will be visible. O1 of the bottom surface will not be visible. So you will write it in the bracket. So the top view will be just like an rhombus surface what we have to draw. So after that, when you project from the front view, you can see the projection of these slant edge, this slant edge and this slant edge on our vertical plane. So it will be just a triangular surface as our front view. So here the axis will be overlapped with the longer edge, and hence we won't show the axis line, we show the projection of the longer edge instead of the axis line. So always when it is a problem on slant edge related to square pyramid, you keep one of the corner towards your right and you get the other corner opposite to edge towards our left. And then you view the top and the front view. So after understanding the concept, you know now the top view, when you view from the top, it looks like an inclined square or like an rhombus. Right? So we will just construct an inclined square. So you know how to construct an inclined square. Just draw a straight line. So from here, you please take 45 degree and 45 degree. Right? After that, the side is told to be as 35 mm. So measure 35 mm using the compass. Keep one end of the compass here and just cut an arc. Similarly, keep one end of the compass here and cut an arc. So after you get the two sides of the base, just draw a line parallel to this. Okay. So then again measure 35 mm and cut an arc and join this. So you can erase the extra construction line. So now we have constructed the top view of our square pyramid when it is resting on one of its slant edges. So always when it is resting on one of its its slant edges, you will fix one of the corner towards your right and you get the opposite corner towards your left. So you can just remove the constructional line. And I told you, in a square pyramid, all the bottom surface will be visible. So name this as A, B, C and D. And always in solid, we need to join the diagonals to identify the center. So please join the diagonal from A to C and from D to B. So you know that the center at the apex O will be visible. O1 will not be visible when we view from the top. So you will write O outside the bracket and O1 within the bracket. Once you complete the top view, kindly show the dimension for at least one side. So this is exactly equal to 35 mm. So after you do this, what's our work? So please write X, Y. I haven't written, you please write VP and HP. So after this, we take the projection above, right? So this is our A. Take the projection above. So projection from C, projection from B and D, and projection from A. So after you take the projections, I told you whenever it is resting on one of its corner, the axis will not be visible, it will be overlapped by one of the longer edge. So when it is inclined in this position, the projection of the axis will be here and the longer edge will be here. This is the axis line and it is overlapped with the longer edge. And as you won't show the axis line, you show the projection of the continuous line of the longer edge. So extend. So what is the axis height? It is 60 mm. So please measure 60 mm using compass. Come back to the same distance and just cut an arc. So where it meets will be our apex O1. So after this, you can join from this corner to O1 and from this O1 to this corner, right? So after joining, you will get our front view. So once the front view is obtained, we have to start doing the naming. So when the observer views from here, A will be visible. So in our front view, it will be A dash. So when the observer views from here, B and D is along the same line. So when he views from here, B will be visible and D won't be visible. So you will write B dash outside the bracket and D dash within the bracket. And again when the observer views from here, C will be visible. You will write it as C dash. Don't forget to show the dimension of the axis, which is equal to 35 mm. So this completes the first stage, front view and the top view, right? So after that, this stage everyone are comfortable enough, because in the question for regular problem they tell that it is resting on one of its corner, but in slant edge problem they tell that indirectly one of the slant edge is resting on HP, and to shift this slant edge resting on HP, you need the position of the square pyramid in such a way that it is resting on one of its corner. Only when you are resting on one of its corner, you can take the projection of the slant edge, or else you get the projection of the straight edge. Okay, so this is how you have to keep the first position. So for the second position, it is told that it is resting on one of its slant edges. So this is one slant edge and this is one slant edge. You have to either select O dash to C dash as a slant edge to rest on HP, or O dash and A dash as a slant edge to rest on HP. So you can take any one of it. So if I go with O dash and A dash, so this if I consider as a slant edge resting on HP, then we have to assume this line to be exactly on our XY plane. It is resting on HP, means this slant edge should be on XY plane. So you will leave some distance, just fix a point, let this be A dash. So name that as A dash. Then you measure from A dash to O dash, what is the distance? Come back over here and just cut an arc. So this will be our O dash. So now we have replaced one of the slant edge on XY line to tell that it is resting on HP. So now we need to measure the other sides. A dash, O dash is done already. So now measure O dash to C dash. What is the distance? O dash to C dash, you measure what is the distance. Okay, come back here and keep one point. You just measure O dash to C dash using the compass. The same distance you come here and you just cut an arc. Okay. So you don't know where it meets the other side. So you just measure this distance. Keeping one end of the compass here, you will just cut an arc. And then come back over here and measure from A dash to C dash what is the distance using the compass. Keep the same distance at A dash and just cut an arc. It can meet somewhere. So this intersection point will be nothing but our C dash because you have A dash and O dash already with you. Right? So once this is done, I'll repeat. The slant edge, you will select either O dash and C dash or O dash and A dash. So once you select which slant edge you are resting on HP, you will leave some space and fix one particular point. I am fixing A dash because I am replacing A dash, O dash on XY line. So after you fix A dash, you measure this distance how much it is, then just make a reference point. So this will be O dash. So you got now one side. So you need to replace the other two sides of the front view. So only option is you will measure the distance from O dash to C dash how much it is. Just cut an arc. And again measure from A dash to C dash what is the distance and cut an arc. Where it meets will be our point C dash. Then you join A dash to C dash and from C dash to O dash. Right? So after that we need one more point, which is that B dash and D dash. So from A dash to B dash you measure what is the distance and just measure and cut an arc. Okay, this will be exactly half of this entire side. So from there you take the projection and join to our apex. So this is our point B dash and D dash, right? So after this you can see now we have shifted one of the slant edge on XY plane to satisfy that the slant edge is resting on HP. So slant edge is resting on HP. So once this is done, you have to take the projections down. So please take the projection from A dash, B dash and D dash, C dash and O dash. So once you take the projection, what you do is you extend the projection from our top view also. Don't forget to project any of the points. All points are important over here. So kindly erase the extra line. So after erasing, start reading the locus. So locus of A is meeting A dash at this point. So this is our A. So locus of C. So this is C is meeting C dash at this point. So this is our C. So locus of B is meeting D dash at this point. This is our B. Locus of D is meeting D dash at this point. This is our D. Then locus of O1 is meeting, we haven't written, see here, we haven't named O1 dash. So you have O1 dash also here. It won't be visible when the observer views from here. B will be visible, D won't be visible and O1 also will not be visible. So when it comes to the front view, it will be O1 dash within the bracket. Same thing we have to mention here, O1 dash within the bracket. So the locus of O1 and O1 dash is meeting here. So this is our O1. And then the locus of O is meeting O dash here. So this is our O. I told you irrespective of any problem on pyramids or prisms, the outer boundary will be always visible. So please join the outer boundary first. So you join A to B, B to C, C to D, D to A. And also you join from D to O and O to B. Okay. So this outer boundary is visible. And we have, and I told that any line coming through the corner of the surface will be visible. So this is also visible, kindly join. And we have the axis from O1 dash to O dash. So O1 is coming through inside the surface, so you just show an hidden line over here. So this is the axis line, what you can show. But along with that, we have one more surface, one more longer edge which is passing through inside the surface, which is that A to O. So since it is passing through inside surface, this entire line will be hidden. A to O will be hidden. So this part you will show as a hidden line, but the line passing through from outside the surface will be visible. So you will make C to O as visible, but the edge A to O is passing through inside the surface, and hence this will not be visible. So we will make this as hidden. So this part cannot be made hidden because it is overlapped with the longer edge C to O, which is visible, and hence this will be the top view of the second stage and the front view of the second stage. So now this is over. Later, please read what is the third part being asked. It is told that the axis appears to be inclined to BP at 45 degree. If it was told the axis is inclined to BP at 45, then we have to determine the apparent angle because it is directly inclined. In that case, you won't be getting the true length in the second stage. So we have to construct the beta angle and then shift the second stage to that of third stage problem. But in this case, it is only told appears to be inclined, and hence no need to determine the apparent angle. We can directly shift the apparent length to 45 degree to VP. So this is an easier one. So what we do is, we take 45 degree to VP, either this side or this side, depending upon the space availability. You take the direction in which you need. So after you take 45 degree, since it is axis inclination, you have to focus on axis and not on any of the side or the edge. So which is our axis in the second stage? It is from O1 to O, which is our apparent length of the axis. So before shifting this, just fix the point O first. After fixing the point O, you measure the distance of the axis from the second stage, which is our apparent length, from O1 to O. Okay, so after measuring this, come back to the third stage, keep one end of the compass on the fixed point O, and you just cut an arc. So this will be our O1. So this is our apparent length. So after this, we have to reconstruct the entire square pyramid as it is looking in our second stage top view. So let us complete this one longer edge. So now we have from O dash to O. So let us identify the corner A also. So for that, we need to extend the line O1 to A. So anyhow you have this line, just extend it and measure from O1 to A what is the distance, and just cut an arc. So you will get it as A. And similarly from O1 to C, you measure the distance and just cut an arc. So we will get the point C. So this part is hidden. So make this as an hidden line. Similarly, this is also hidden. Change it into hidden line pattern. So now we have this. Right? After that, we need the other two corners. So these two corners are passing through this vertical line. So just draw a perpendicular line from the center O1. Then you measure from O1 to D what is the distance and just cut an arc. Similarly from O1 to B what is the distance and just cut an arc. So you will get D and B. So you now got all the four corners of the base. So you can join all the four corners and the sides are visible. So you can join this using the visible line. So join D to C, C to B, B to A and D to A. After that, now it's our duty, this is O1. So square base is ready. So we need to connect that to our apex. So our apex O is located over here. So now we have to join from D to O. So please join D to O, O to B, C to O also please darken up. Please darken all the views immediately once you construct. So now we have shifted the top view for 45 degree to VP across our axis, which is our apparent length as per the second stage. So once we have shifted the axis of the top view for 45 degree to VP, so now we should identify how the final front view looks like. So for that, what we have to do, we have to take the projections from the top view. So please take the projections from O, C, B, D, A and O. Please draw it parallelly. I am just showing you roughly. Okay, so you have to draw each and every line parallelly. Then extend the projection. Right? Then extend the projection from the front view also. After extending the projection, you kindly erase which are extra lines so that you won't be having the state of confusion. So once done, start reading with the locus. So locus of A is meeting A dash at this point. So this is our A dash. So locus of B is meeting D dash at this point. So this is our D dash. So locus of B is meeting B dash at this point. So this is our B dash. And locus of C is meeting, this is locus of C is meeting C dash at this point. So this is our C dash. So we got all the corners of the base, right? And then you should identify the center O1. O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point. Just draw a proper O1 is meeting O1 dash at this point. So this is our O1 dash. Similarly, this is O is meeting O dash at this point. So this is our O dash. So now we have named all the four corners of the base, the center of the base and the apex. And I told you, irrespective of any stage, the outer boundary will be always visible. So please darken the outer boundary. Okay. So outer boundary is from A dash to O dash, C dash to O dash, A dash to D dash, D dash to C dash. Right? So when the observer views from here, the bottom surface, and when the observer views from here, the bottom surface will be entirely visible. So please darken the bottom surface of the square pyramid. So this is done. And I told you the projection coming through the corners of the corner of the outer surface will be visible. So this is joined already, this is also joined. So this corner is not joined, so we will make this as a continuous visible line because this will be visible. Along with that, we have one more projection from D dash to O dash. But this corner, the projection from this corner passes through inside the surface and hence that will be hidden. So please show an hidden line. Because this longer edge will not be visible as it is passing through inside the base surface. Along with that, always students forget to show the axis line. Kindly show the axis line from O1 dash to O dash. Okay, so this will be the final stage of the front view and the top view when the given problem is resting on one of its slant edges. So always when it is a problem on slant edge related to square pyramid, the initial position will be always in such a way that we will keep the corner towards our right. Then only we can take the projection of the slant edge and shift the slant edge on XY plane. So this is the concept what you have to understand related to the slant edge problem on square pyramid. Thank you.